Hi guys, hola amigos. I am Dr. Veronica Garcia. I am your host for this podcast of Living Life a Life View. And today I am joined by a highly vibrational, beautiful, awesome, influential student at Life University and also compatriota. So you know I'm a little biased, but Mr. Axel Rivera Quintana, welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you. I'm so excited to have the conversation that we're about to have. And I'm really excited for just the world to get to know you, a little bit more about you, but also a little bit about the beautiful force that you are within chiropractic. So, Axel, let's start at the beginning. You are from Puerto Rico,
yes.
Correct? Tell me how long you've been in Georgia.
I've been in Georgia for 3 years already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you came straight for chiropractic school?
Yes, only for chiropractic.
That's awesome. Tell me, why chiropractic?
I was looking for a purpose in my life. I was looking for that identity that I had to, for that deep purpose in my life. And chiropractic has such a beautiful way to impact humanity. Yeah. And when I found it, I was 2018. I made a commitment to myself. I wrote in a paper, I'm going to be a future chiropractor, August 16, 2018. Yeah. I wrote a signature on it, and here I am.
Here you are. You're close to the end.
Yes.
Where are you at?
I'm quarter 12, so this is my last year.
Ooh, 2 more quarters, 6 more months to go. Axel, what is the plan after, if you have one right now?
Right now, I just want to go out there, serve whatever the universe puts me, just serve humanity is my best of my abilities.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. So let's start with, there's a lot of beautiful hats that you do wear at the university, from being a student to being a leader in different clubs and organizations to also leading different things outside of the university. So let's start with those extracurricular in the university. You're involved in clubs. Yes. Which ones you're involved in?
So since starting here at Life University, I was always involved in clubs. Mm-hmm. That was my first thing to do. And the big one in my life was KTC, Chiro Training Culture. Mm-hmm. I was training with them since day one. Mm-hmm. Another one was the Hispanic clubs that we have around here, mm-hmm. in the communities outside of campus as well. Mm-hmm. A big one that I have wearing right now is the fraternity, of course. Mm-hmm. Delta Sigma Chi, Dr. Straight Chiropractic. I've been part of Hispanic philosophy, hosting Hispanic philosophy for the community as well. Just everywhere that I can just lead chiropractic as I know that I can, I'll be there. And it doesn't have to be with an organization. I'm just embodying chiropractic the best that I can.
That's awesome, Axel. And I think that it's a beautiful thing that you bring into the conversation philosophy, because there's 3 pillars of chiropractic. For those that don't know, you have the art, the science, and the philosophy, and all of them work in a beautiful rhythmic manner to create and to be able to impact our nature of chiropractic. So tell me how you got involved in the philosophy and what exactly is philosophy of chiropractic?
Right. That's a beautiful topic to talk. I think I was by nature someone that inclined more into the philosophy. So going into the philosophy of chiropractic wasn't that hard for me. Mm-hmm. I was already obsessed with the philosophy. So when I got here, everything was making sense to me in my first class, in my first quarter. And chiropractic philosophy is just the understanding that our body has an innate intelligence, right? And when we have this understanding, everything just works. And when you are in alignment with your principles, when you're in alignment with your philosophy, everything just will flow for you. Yeah. And chiropractic philosophy, it's just a beautiful thing that we have. It's what distinguishes us from any other profession. Mm-hmm. So the philosophy of something is what makes the profession. So people that, as you said, we have 3 pillars in the profession: philosophy, science, and art. If you don't practice any one of them, you're not doing chiropractic. So by doing chiropractic philosophy, you're doing chiropractic. If you have only the science and the art, you're not practicing chiropractic. Mm-hmm.
So, and with the philosophy of chiropractic, I think that in first quarter, one of the very first things that we learn is the 33 principles, right? And just kind of start sprinkling a little bit of the knowledge within the adaptation that starting chiropractic school, coming from a semester system or a different country, and kind of refocusing everything, but the 33 principles being kind of the base of it, and also a little bit of the green books, but not quite enough, right? Because there's so many and there's so much greatness to it. Tell me about what kind of caught your attention into that, if you could remember. I know it's been 12 quarters, but what caught your attention, and how has that evolved to today?
Right. The feeling of obsession over the body, the feeling of, okay, if I master my chiropractic adjustment, I deliver the impulse in the right place, at the right time, with the right velocity, I know something greater will make this person heal. Like, it's not up to me. I'm just observing. I'm just channeling above, down, inside out. Mm-hmm. The power that makes the body heals the body. It can heal the body. So when I put that impulse in the right correction, I know deeply and strongly with the philosophy that this person is going to heal.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling of like being so obsessed with the philosophy to the point where I trust on a deeper level. It what made me understand and be in love with the philosophy, because it was like, okay, this is greater than me.
Yeah.
It's not about me. I don't have nothing to do with it. It's something greater than me. And that feeling of working for something greater is just a beautiful purpose to have.
Mm-hmm. That's such an important conversation. And that's something that I aim to talk to my students often in clinic. It's not about you. You're not trying to show off something. It's not about how well you can make something snap, crackle, and pop, but how well can you integrate this body and then just step away from it and allow it to do what it was meant to and designed to do. And it's such an important conversation to have as early as pre-DC, mm-hmm. and also as late as closer to death, like in practice and everything in between, because it's all about that education and that honoring the system, to me. Mm-hmm. Tell me the process of creating like the philosophy nights, and what does that look like, and why is it so important?
I think nobody talks about the philosophy. People are scared to talk the philosophy. I think people are afraid of the stand that we take as chiropractors. I think it should be, sometimes it's a position where you could be challenged a lot by the medical community, by the community that just creates our program. So it's a hard position to be in, because you have to stand and defend chiropractic and stand for your principles. So these nights are to empower people. These nights are to inspire the community and to give them the tools to defend chiropractic, not just to be showing their knowledge about the philosophy of chiropractic, but just making them feel inspired, for them to be able to communicate chiropractic with their professors, within clinic, and to understand this to a deeper level, not just on a superficial level.
That's awesome. Tell me about your first philosophy talk. How was it? Tell me how did it go? What was your stand in that?
I was approached in quarter 2 by one of my mentors here at Life University, David Miranda, mm-hmm. and to be a speaker for the Hispanic philosophy. And I was like, whoa, I have all this knowledge, but why? How can I send a message? Mm-hmm. And it was evolution. I was talking about evolution, mm-hmm. and not only humanity evolution, the evolution of chiropractic, and how thus we perceive that modernization is evolution when we're actually devolving, because we're stepping away from nature and we're not allowing the body to have the environment that it needs in order to adjust itself and to be progressing and evolving into a greater state of consciousness.
Look at that. And it's such a thought-provoking conversation, and it's so important because I think that pones la semilla, like you put the seed, right? And then from that seed, everything starts kind of evolving from there, from the roots, and then you start feeling the stem and whatnot. But understanding and seeing that perspective, that evolution in the digital world, like we see it right now, everything's like, oh, well, it's so funny. I was just talking with some of the marketing team here about, oh, well, would you get the new iPhone, or would you get the latest thing because it does all these things for you, or the goggles, or this? I'm like, but it takes you away from the feeling. It takes you away from what's happening right then and there, and it can almost put you in a silo. So how can we relate that into the body and into the way that we are kind of developing right now in society?
I think humanity always looks for the path of less friction. We're always looking for the way out instead of the way through. Yeah. I love Stoicism, and Marcus Aurelius always talk about the obstacle is the way. Mm-hmm. So sometimes our prayers are on the other side of the obstacles. Mm-hmm. And with this technology and with this stuff that makes it easier to be alive and to do stuff, it's just a way to, instead of going through, going the other way around. And how do I relate this with the body? I think the healing is on the other side of the obstacle. Mm-hmm. The healing is on the other side of the pain. Yeah. I think sometimes we feel the pain. We want the way out, the easy way, take a pill. I want the chiropractor to release the pain, and we don't want to do the internal work in order to heal.
Yeah. Axel, how does, now being quarter 12 and almost at the other side. How would you say your day-to-day routine has been living in alignment with the chiropractic philosophy as a student that is in a such demanding and can be stressful program?
Yes, it's for sure stressful. And I think a lot of students have a really good way to have excuses not to put the work into the chiropractic profession, right? And I think when I got here, just the thought of going to clinic and not being able to provide an adjustment, I don't want to practice for my patients. I want to be able to provide a healing experience for them. So I think that just alone is an enough reason for you to train the chiropractic adjustment and to understand the chiropractic philosophy. You don't want to get into clinic and be practicing with your patients. You're there to deliver a chiropractic healing experience. So it's just having that feeling in the heart. I know that's what all the greats will have love for every student to be like here. And I think that has been lost. That essence of the training, that essence of the love for the philosophy has been lost. And that's why we cannot show up for our people.
And what calls of action would you give those first and second quarter students or pre-DC students that are looking to get to clinic with that mindset, and as they continue to transition that, what call of action would you give them for them to step into that leadership and that philosophy role?
You have to be obsessed. I think that's my word today. But it's really just all about obsession, because it's easy to find excuses. It's easy to say, this class is hard, I'm not going to train today. This class is hard, I'm not going to read philosophy today. But it's just, no one, when you have the tools, get the big idea and everything else will follow. If you have that big idea, don't worry, the universe know that you're putting the work. The universe will know that you're doing that work in order to help people in the future.
Yeah.
You're going to be blessed in many ways.
Yeah. I love that. Just to be able to set your mindset and set your spirit, everything into alignment. It's such an important piece. But putting in the work of not just focusing and hyper-focusing on the science and just the pathology and just the ologies, but also combining it with the technique and combining it with the philosophy and kind of bringing it all and building it together. I gotta ask, do you have a hero?
Yes.
Who's your hero?
In chiropractic terms, chiropractic, as a chiropractor, I would say Dr. Brett Jones. I think he showed me the experience you can have as a human. He showed me the emotions you can feel from a chiropractic adjustment. And I came with a really analysis-based mindset to the chiropractic profession.
Yeah.
I didn't really understood the depth of the energetic and spiritual depth that this profession has. And on my first quarter, he provided a chiropractic adjustment to me that just allowed me to feel what it was to be a human being. And ever since that day, I've just been following, because I want to be able to provide that to other human beings. So
Yeah.
Brett Jones is for sure my hero in the chiropractic profession.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, Axel, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming in and sharing a little bit more about why philosophy is so important. And thank you for showing up in alignment with who you will become and who you are becoming. So I appreciate you. Your vibration are definitely vibrating the buildings. So that's awesome. Keep it up. Good luck on the last 6 months. Be awesome. Be amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Living Life, a Life You. Have a good day. Bye.